Hello everyone, it's Patty from PS Papercrafts for my Wednesday afternoon live, afternoon in Eastern time zone anyway. Today I want to go over the tutorial bundle, the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial bundle. I do this once a month. I participate with a group of other demonstrators, and every month we come up with a bundle, and if you purchase from my online store, I send you the link for this. So I'm going to make 2 of the cards, but before I get started, I just wanted to tell you that I am having a BOGO sale March 20th at 2 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be on Facebook. I have to still get it set up, but I wanted you to just know about it, save the date. So during the BOGO, if you purchase from my online store, you'll get equal value in my retired products for free. So I will go over more details, but I just wanted to give you the date, March 20th, 2022 at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And I also want to tell you my ordering special this month, March, is the brushed brass butterflies. And this is free with a $50 product order, separate from the BOGO sale. This is a whole different thing. And let me just put myself on mute here. I could hear my voice in the background. And then one more thing I wanted to just give people a reminder of. You know, our new catalog is coming out soon. And when we do the new catalog, we retire the old colors. So every year we have in colors, and they're here for 2 years. So 2 years ago we introduced Misty Moonlight, Magenta Madness, Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, and Just Jade. So these, once the retirement list comes out, a lot of times these go and they're gone. So if you have the ink pads and want to get the refills, I know that Magenta Madness is already on back order. So there's cardstock, designer series paper, ribbon, anything related to those colors will retire when the new catalog comes out. So I just wanted to give you a fair warning on that, because sometimes there's a mad rush. So anyway, let's get to our tutorial bundle. So as I said, every month we do this, and we featured the Heart and Home Suite collection. And what the bundle includes, it's a tutorial bundle. We have our team, and we have all our pictures. This is the color combo that we used, and we used mainly the Suite products, but we can add other products to it as well. And this is the team. This is me, Patty Dolan. And then we go into, this is my project that I'm going to make today, and then I'm going to make Vicki Parsons' project as well. I didn't print out the whole thing. But there's 12 different projects, and then at the end we have the supply list that we used. So let's get started making my card, and then we'll do Vicki's card. And I always pick, I do mine and then I pick another card, and I like Vicki's style. It's kind of like my style, so I figured I would go with hers. So I have my pieces, and using a basic gray card base, and then I have my inside. And then I'm using the paper from this suite. So let me just show you. The Heart and Home suite is in the mini catalog, and it goes till June of 2022. It kind of overlaps the new catalog coming out. And these are the products. So there's 2 bundles, there's ribbon, there's an embossing folder, and then there's this paper. And there's a couple of pages of samples and just a closer look. So those are the products that we're using, and I love this paper. I love a kind of plank or boarded paper, and then we're using this paper for Vicki's, which is one of my other favorites. All the papers in here are good, and if you follow me at all, you know paper is my thing. I love the designer series paper from Stampin' Up, one of my favorite things. So the first thing we're going to do is just put this down on the card base, and we'll just use some liquid glue, and you can use whatever. There's a lot of different kind of plank or wood pieces in that paper pack, so this is the one I chose. It's a very simple card. And then I use the Tailor-Made Tag Dies. I use the largest one. There's kind of 2 different tops. I use this one, and then I didn't do this, but you can cut this out, and you get like a little, I have one here, just a little piece that can fit here. but the ribbon is kind of covering it, so I didn't even bother with that. Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't. So this would go right up here, and you could do it on both sides. I'm trying to remember what those things were called. Remember in the old days when we had loose leaf paper and you would get those sticky circles to go around because the paper would tear out of your binder? I don't know if they still do those kinds of things, but when I was in school, we would have them, and I don't know what they were called, but that's what that reminds me of. So we put this down, and now we want to stamp, and I'm using the stamp set that goes with this. So this is the Honeybee Home stamp set, and I'm using this, and I love these little bees. I love the sentiments, the handwriting or script that they use. So we're going to do a Miss You on this, and let's just get our Memento ink. Hi, Mary Lou. South Carolina. Oh, reinforcements, that's what they're called. I'm in Florida, so we're not that far apart. We're getting some rain here, which we needed, and I know it's been crazy. My kids are up in New York, and they're supposed to get, I think, a foot of snow in the next few days, so you never know what to expect. So we're just going to put this kind of on an angle to fit it in here, and then have the room for the Miss You sentiment. Now this sentiment is across, so I want to do it in 2 steps kind of. So what I'll do is I'll take a little post-it note, which I thought I had out. Let me just grab one. Thought I had little tiny ones. So what I like to do is I just take a post-it note, and I'll do one word at a time, and I'll do the I'll do the U first. I'll start on the bottom. So I'll just cover this up, take my ink pad, ink it up, and the key to this is you've got to remove this. And then I'll put it down here, and I'm putting it off to the side a little bit because I want room for those little pieces there, my little bling. And then I want to clean this off because I don't want to have a chance of the word, you know, the U getting with the miss. So I'm actually going to use this again. So now I want to cover the word U and just ink up miss. Now the last time I did this, somebody said, why don't you just, you know, or what she does is just cuts her stamp in half. And that is a great option. I'm not ready to do that yet, but I think that's a great option. And then we'll just put this right up here. So we have Miss You. And then I'm going to do some coloring. So I use the black Memento ink. Well, let's put the bee on too before I do my coloring. So there's 3 different bees here, and I like this one kind of just coming off the flower. So it's nice that you have options. So let's just do our little bee, and he doesn't have to be on the flower, just, you know, he's going to land on there and do his thing. So what's the weather like in South Carolina? Has it been nice? My sister lives in North Carolina, very far to the west, and she has a farm with goats, and she said the goats are going to be kidding, having their kids in the next week or so, and she said it was going to get down to, I think, 15 degrees on Sunday. So she's hoping that they don't start kidding until after the weather warms up again. So I'm using Bumblebee ink, and I'm using the Stampin' Right marker because I don't have the blends. I don't think we have a blends for this color. So if it's something small, I really don't mind coloring with a Stampin' Right marker. And then I have a blends light balmy blue, and I'll do the wings. Oh, and I should do his head too. And then I put some Winkostella on this. At first I just did the wings because I thought that would be pretty. And then I went for the whole thing, the flowers, the leaves, the bee. I love Winkostella. It really adds so much, and it almost looked like it gave it like a fuzzy coat. So then I am going to use my fresh freesia, and I'll do the whole flower, and then I'm going to add a little dark to the tops of the flowers. And I'm using the kind of the bullet point because I feel like it's very tight where I'm coloring. If it's a big area, I'll usually color it with the other end. So I'm going to just put one solid coat here. And if I wasn't live, I'd probably speed this up. So, I don't know. So it's really cool with my sister. So she has a goat farm, and they actually milk the goats and sell the cheese, and they've really become very popular. Wineries buy their cheese, and she sells it at the farmer's market, and it's really good. Her husband he's like the creator of the recipes, and they've really fine-tuned it, and they have a very successful business. So I love it when she comes to visit, because she always brings a bunch of cheese down with her. And it's really cool going to the farmer's market and seeing her in action. Okay, so I'm going to now just do, I think I'll do those little flowers too in the dark. Like they're closed, so they're darker than the other ones. And then I'm just going to do the tops. And you can blend it, but I don't think it's necessary with what I'm doing. I have to say that I'm not some people do such a great job with blending and coloring. I basically color. That is my thing. I don't know if you hear that. That's my dog snoring in the background. I have a Boston Terrier, and he just likes to sleep and snore. So I'm going to use, what am I, dark old olive, and we'll just do the leaves. And sometimes when it's narrow, I just kind of barely touch it. You don't have to press too hard. And it's okay if there's a little bit of white, if you don't get the whole thing colored. And we'll just get all the leaves done. Right here, a couple here. And I just love this kind of look. I think it's very pretty and dainty. So let me just read your comment. Oh, Myrtle Beach area. Oh, so you've got a cool weekend coming as well. It's hot here today. We've had the rain, but it's really getting hot again. So now I'm going to use this frayed ribbon, and it's pretty wide. So what I did was I just cut a piece. I'm going to probably cut it too long. And then I'll cut it right down the middle, because I want to fit it in that hole. And it doesn't have to be so perfectly even. I mean, try to get a straight cut in half piece, but it's okay if you don't, because you won't really see it. And then we want to put this through. And it is frayed, so you'll get these little pieces. You could just pull them or cut them. It kind of, adds to the look of it. That's how it's supposed to be. So we'll just push this through and then figure out how long we want it. And I'll tie it before I cut them. So then I have a piece of this baker's twine, and I love this essentials pack. It has the white, the very vanilla, I think this might be soft suede, and the black, but it's nice to have a variety. And as you can see, I really like the white, so I've been using that quite a bit. And I'm just going to tie this around and tie it in a bow. So let's see how this is going to work. And then I'll cut it. I think I'll tie it in a knot first. I don't know if I did that on the other card or not. I made the card a while ago. So every month, we have to make a card by a certain date and get our instructions and everything together. And then we put the PDF together, and that's what I'm working off of. And then we make it available to our customers. So it's nice. It's nice to get ideas, and you can use it with different suites of products, different themes. It just gives you ideas to make cards with. And sometimes there's like a little treat box or something. So let's cut this off. And I know I made it way too long. I always overdo it, but It's better to go long than to not have enough, right? Okay, got all this stuff here. And let me just trim this up. Oh, and then I want to add my Wink of Stella. So I'll just take my Wink of Stella and add it to the bee. And you can go over it a couple of times if you want. But I don't know, as soon as I added it, to me it looks like it's got like a fuzzy look to it, the bee. So I thought that was nice. So I'm going to do all the flowers, and then I'll do the leaves. And we're almost done with this card. Pretty easy. We'll do the inside. Just do these leaves. Okay, and then we want to get some dimensionals. And the other thing besides dimensionals is we have these, which I love for something this size. They're foam adhesive sheets, so you get, I think you get 6 of them, and they're 6 squares. It's like a big dimensional, and then you can cut it down. But what I like about it is it gives you like more of a solid feel than all the separate dimensionals. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to just cut a piece, and I just have that on hand, and you take off one side, so it's a 2-sided piece of foam. And then we can take this off and put it on our card, just like this. Okay, and I'll have to fix this bow. It's a little wild, but we'll do that later. And then I'm using some of these classic matte dots. And I put the bigger and the smaller of the basic gray. So sometimes I like to do things in the grouping of 2. So we'll put 2 here and 2 here. And then we'll put 2 up top. So just, you know, you've got your 3, because they say 3 or odd number is pleasing, but you've got 3 that are groups of 2. So that's the outside of the card. And then on the inside, I stamped the other flower that comes with this, because I thought that was very pretty. We stamped that in our black memento ink, and then we'll stamp another bee. So let me just get this down here. I've got all this fuzz all over the place. Okay, and let me see, I have a piece of scrap. I'm going to go off the bottom, so I want to just get a piece of scrap here. There we go with that, and then we'll do the bee again. Put that at the top. I always, not that I always do this, but I like something down here and up here. That's my thing. But sometimes I'll put a piece of designer series paper if I don't have a good idea on a stamp. And we're going to color this stem, and this is where we want to use that bullet kind of end and just barely touch it. You don't want to press too hard because it's very, very narrow. And again, if there's a little bit of white, it's not going to matter. So we'll just barely touch it. Okay, and then we'll do the, I think I'll do it in the light. Same thing, we're going to use that bullet end. I don't know if that's what you call it, but that's what I call it. The bullet end or the flare end. And we'll just color it, and I will add some Wink of Stella to this as well. Very easy. And then we'll be done with this card, and I'll show you the next card, the one that my friend Vicky made. I've met her. She lives up in Georgia, and I've met her a couple of times at Stampin' Up events. We actually did a retreat last year together, and we'll have to see if we do it again this year. It was an online retreat, but it was fun. And then we'll do the little bee to the other side. the wings with a light balmy blue. And then again, I'm using the Stampin' Right marker for the actual bee itself. We'll just color that in nice. And then we'll add some Winkostella. Okay. So let's do that. And then this card will be done. And I'm just doing this very quickly. And I don't know if, you know, it doesn't show good on the video, but in person, the Winkostella really makes such a difference. I don't know if you can see it, but I love it on the bee. So let's get our card back here, and we'll take some Stampin' Seal and put the inside in, and then we're done with the first card. And something like this, I don't really put a sentiment on the inside, the miss you kind of thing. So we'll fix the bow later. So that's the first card. The second card, I don't have a sample, so we're just going to go by Vicky's instructions. Let me just get rid of some of this garbage. And now we'll do the next card. So again, there's 12 different projects in here, and we're only going to do 2 of them. So this is Vicky's card, and she used the this blue paper, which I love, and then the hand pen petals bundle. So I have some of the pieces cut out already, and I'll put them up here. And I'm using the Misty Moonlight. So again, the Misty Moonlight is one of the colors that will retire when the new catalog comes out. So if you're interested in that, you might want to pick it up before it retires. So for this one, we want to get an angle, and we're using the scalloped edge on the Pen Flowers dies. So I have both pieces together. I'm not going to glue them because I want to shift them once I cut this off. Let me get my machine here. So I'm going to use my big Stampin' Emboss, Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. One of these days I'm going to get that out right the first time. It seems like a mouthful to me. Hi Carol, yeah, I'm going to miss Misty Moonlight. It is sad when these colors go. So I'm definitely going to miss it. So on this one, I'm just going to go at an angle, and I'm putting them both together, and then I'll shift them. So I want to have enough room for my thanks to go in. So I just want to get my thanks and make sure that's going to fit in here. And you'll see what I'm doing in a minute. So I'm going to just take a piece of Post-it tape and put this down, and we'll run this through. And the reason I'm doing it together is I want it to just line up perfectly. And the designer series paper is very thin, so it really cut through. I didn't even have to run it through twice. Just make sure it looks like it's cut through, which it is. Okay, so we're good. Let's put this aside. And yeah, I'm so sad when the colors retire. Every once in a while they take something back. They'll kind of readjust. I think that's happened once since I've been here. So, and then the other thing to mention is some of the in colors that are not retiring, sometimes they retire the ribbon and the jewels. And I am loving the jewels that are with the newer in colors. So these, I think these are so pretty. And I don't know if they'll retire these. Sometimes they keep them and sometimes they don't. But these really, I'm going to stock up on them. So let's put this together. So now we have this piece, and we just want to have it go a little bit above, just so there's a little bit showing, like that. Now, if you cut it too far, you can always adjust, you know, cut the top off if you had to, but I think it will fit perfectly here. Okay, so I'm going to actually put these together and then I'll put it down as one. And before I put it down, I'm going to do my stamping, because you don't want to make a mistake. Oh, Mary Lou, so you know that Carol, are you guys friends? You know that she will be sorry to see it go. Yeah, these colors were good, and I like the colors that came out last year as well. So we'll see. It's exciting to see what the new colors will be. I always, I don't always like them at first, and then when I start using them, like I was not a big polished pink person when it came out. I was like, ah, it's okay. And now I really love it. So once you start using things, you find out how much more you like it. So I'm going to just, well, I said I was going to stamp first, right? So I'm just going to stamp in the bottom and hope for the best here. So I'll use my Misty Moonlight. I saw that Magenta Madness refills are already on back order, so you never know. I'm just going to make sure this inks up good. Okay. I don't have any problems and then it doesn't work out right. So we'll put this down just like that. And let's close this up. And now we can put this together. So let me get my glue back. And you can use whatever, you know, what adhesive you use. I like to use the liquid glue on pieces like this, but then I always end up with the Stamp and Seal on my inside layer. Sometimes you see that little bump with the liquid glue, but I do like the fact that you can move things around and shift them with the liquid glue. So that looks good. Very simple card, right? And then we want to, and I think I actually made a mistake. I probably should have put the ribbon down before I put it on the card. So if you see there's this white ribbon here, I'll probably, I should have put it down before I adhered this, but I'm going to just put it across the whole card front, and I think that'll be fine. And we also have these pieces, and I cut these using this piece. I already did the cutting, and this to get the flowers, and then I did some of the leaves. And again, I'm copying her picture. And we'll just place these and then we'll put the ribbon on. So it looks like she's got these up here. We've got some leaves. So let's get started putting these down. And I'll just put a little bit of glue. Very simple card though. I like simple. Sometimes I like to play and get a little messy, but I'm usually a simple stamper kind of person. So let's just put this, I guess it doesn't matter really how they go. However I want them to go, right? It's my card. And then we can put this right up here. And then we'll put the leaves down. I'm getting low on the glue. But you only need a little bit, right? And we'll put this kind of over here. Of course, I get glue on my fingers all the time. That's a problem. And we'll put this down. I'm thinking that this would be better if I can still do it. Let me just see. I'm just going to see if I can get this under here. No, it might be too late. That's all right. I probably should have had it layered a little bit different, but that's all right. I'll put this right in there. So this is the Just Jade, and I love the Just Jade as well. I think that's really a beautiful color. I love all our greens. We really have a lot of greens that are so pretty. It's amazing the different shades of colors that are out there. Okay. And we'll just put this here. And then let me get the ribbon. I thought I had it out. Just give me 1 second. Here it is. So this is that crinkled seam binding. And we'll put this around. We'll just grab some. I always go over. And we'll just tie a bow. Of course, I have glue all over my fingers. All right. So, and I guess I colored this, so I have a little bit of color on it. Let me just snip this off. Do you guys do that? You color your ribbon with your Stampin' blends? I love that you can do that. Okay, so this is such a simple card, but I love the angle with the scalloped, the blue peeking through. I think it's really pretty. So let's see if I can tie a bow with you guys watching me. With the glue on my fingers. All right. Wow. I'm going to just cut it and then fix it. We always have to fix our bows, right? All right, I'll go so far with it and then I'll let you guys go. So I'll fix it later because it looks like it needs a lot of TLC here. Okay, and then she said that she put some classic dots, the matte dots, but I don't see them on here, and I'm not sure where I would put them, to be honest. So, oh, this is really a terrible bow, isn't it? So I am not going to do that, but if you want to bling it up, you certainly can. Let's just do a little help here. Looks like it's upside down. But that's the card, and I will fix that up, and I'll have pictures and stuff on my blog. I'll have all information, and I just wanted to repeat again. So this is free if you purchase from my online store, or you can purchase the bundle, which is 12 projects, and each project has, you know, the picture, the measurements, and the instructions. And then I am having a BOGO sale, looking for all my papers, March 20th. It'll be on Facebook, and there'll be more to come on that. So look at this mess that I have to clean up now. Thanks so much for joining. I really appreciate it. And leave me a comment if you have any questions. All right, take care. Bye.